Bone flutes, or aerophones dating from the Palaeolithic period, were used to mimic raptor calls by hunter-gatherers. That is the conclusion of a new study that looked into the instruments that were fashioned and played by the last hunter-gatherers in the Levant. The research centered around Ain Malala in modern-day Israel, where the beginnings of a sedentary lifestyle began during the period among the Natufian culture. Direct evidence for Paleolithic sound-making instruments is relatively rare, with only a few examples recorded from Upper Paleolithic contexts, particularly in European cultures. However, theories suggest that such artifacts have existed elsewhere in the world. Nevertheless, evidence for sound production is tenuous in the prehistoric archaeological record of the Levant, the study of music and its evolution being sparsely explored. But the new study, entitled Bone Aerophones from Ain Malala, Israel, indicate imitation of raptor calls by the last hunter-gatherers in the Levant, and published in the journal Scientific Reports, seeks to rectify this. The findings build on the notion that birds held a deep cultural and spiritual significance for some of the earliest human societies, as they appeared to for even older Neanderthal groups. The paper's abstract read, "Here we report new evidence for Paleolithic sound-making instruments from the Levant with the discovery of 7 aerophones made of perforated bird bones in the final Natufian site of Ain Malala, northern Israel. Through technological use-ware, taphonomic, experimental and acoustical analyses, we demonstrate that these objects were intentionally manufactured more than 12,000 years ago to produce a range of sounds similar to raptor calls, and whose purposes could be at the crossroads of communication, attracting hunting prey, and music-making. Although similar aerophones are documented in later archaeological cultures, such artificial bird sounds were yet to be reported from Paleolithic context. Therefore, the discovery from Ain Malala contributes new evidence for a distinctive sound-making instrument in the Paleolithic. Through a combined multidisciplinary approach, our study provides important new data regarding the antiquity and development of the variety of sound-making equipments in the Paleolithic at large, and particularly at the dawn of the Neolithic in the Levant. The Natufian culture, which existed from around 15,000 to 11,700 years ago, marks the transition from hunter-gatherer Paleolithic societies into fully fledged agricultural Neolithic cultures. The Natufians were the first hunter-gatherers in the Levant to adopt a sedentary lifestyle, a dramatic economic and societal change associated with growing social complexity, as reflected in various aspects of their material culture, such as graveyards, artistic manifestations, and durable stone-built structures. The paper continued, "We therefore believe that the Ain Malala aerophones were made to reproduce the calls of the valued common kestrel and sparrowhawk. This function explains the Natufians' specific choice to use small blanks with reduced air conduct in order to create high-pitched sounds similar to the bird calls. But if the aerophones were functioning as bird calls, what was their purpose? They could have been meant as a decoy used to lure the common kestrel and sparrowhawk to facilitate their hunting, i.e. luring birds within shooting distance by imitating their sounds, but with a total of 7 aerophones made for only 3 of those birds identified on the site, the decoy would have lacked effectiveness. In contrast, ethnographic and archaeological evidence from various parts of the world consistently show that in societies where birds' byproducts, talons and feathers, are used as personal ornaments, vocal and instrumentally made bird-imitative sounds have high symbolic value in traditional music and dance. It added, for example, during the sun dance of the tribes of Plains Indians, a major communal religious ceremony that reflects their relationship with nature, dancers imitate constantly and in unison the call of the symbolically valued spotted eagle by blowing in a whistle made of an eagle ulnar bone decorated with feathers and red dots of ochre. For the Kaluli, Great Plateau of Papua New Guinea, rainforest birds are considered to be spirits and their feathers are worn as ornaments. During women's funerary song weeping and men's ceremonial poetic songs, bird-imitative sounds are intimately associated with vocal music, which allows the bird's spirits to speak with the community through the musician. We therefore wonder if imitative bird calls were integrated into Natufian musical or dancing practices. The paper's discussion read, "Here we add crucial evidence for the acoustic phenomenon of sound manipulation from a cultural context, which marks a significant change in the history of humankind, the transition into complex agricultural societies, manipulating their vegetal and animal environments, and accelerating the emergence of new ways of life." The Natufians' manipulations of sound might have functioned in various aspects of their socio-cultural lifeways, either for hunting, communication, or ritualized behavior. It added, further exploration of this discovery may develop such questions as, what is the nature of the sound produced? How varied or restricted are they? What can we learn about their perception? And how do they affect human and animal behavior? They say that future research into these specifications concerning the function, perception and effects of the sounds produced by the bone aerophones will be the focus of more in-depth analysis that will develop in the future. It added, it is now clear that the evolution of music at the transition to agriculture, which articulated the intensification of socio-cultural complexity, was more branched than we supposed before. Thus, the exploration of Natufian acoustics gives a new perspective on this crucial period in human history. That's it for this video. Don't forget to like, share, and most importantly subscribe. And you can also support the channel on Subscribestar via the link in the description. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.